Yo, so I feel like I have to tell this story. Like, I only told a couple people this, but it's just so heavy on my heart. So those of you know, my grandma passed away June 3rd of this year, um, almost like 2 months ago. So the last time I saw her was July 28th, and she didn't look like herself. I'm just gonna say that. The last time I saw her, she looked healthy, but so when I moved to Texas, I was here for like 10 months, but something was telling me, like I could feel it. Something inside of me was just telling me, like, I need to go home. I need to go home. I need to go back to Ohio and see my family. So when I I got back in like May, like the end of May. And I got to see my grandma. Like, I got to see her twice before she passed away. So the very first time I went back to see her, she couldn't remember me. She couldn't remember anything. She couldn't remember who she was. Um, she just wasn't herself. So almost a week later, I went to see her again, and she remembered who I was. She remembered me, and she looked like she was getting better. Like, she was getting better. She looked healthier. She was talking. And so, dang, I miss my grandma so much. So like, I'm just gonna like get straight to it. So my grandma spoke to me in a dream. She a month after her transition, she came to me in a dream, and the dream starts out like this. We're inside this car place. We're inside this car place, and I had no idea, like, why was she in a car place? Like, why would she appear in a car place? So this is how the dream starts. I appear in this room, in the back room, inside a car place, and she's sitting on the bed, and she's eating cake. She loved cake. She loved to cook cake. So I appeared, and she was like, I tried to speak to you, and I was like, what, grandma, what are you talking about? So I asked her, I was like, when did you try to speak to me? And she was like, um you were driving in a car, it was dark and it was raining. And I'm like, when was I driving? It was dark and it was raining. And I was like, oh, that was last night. So my grandma told me she tried to speak to me when I was driving in the car and it was dark and it was raining. And that was the night before. So look, this is the thing. So I went to get this necklace. My cousin and my grandma, they both passed away in the same month, like in a 3 week span. Oh man, I miss them so much. So so she's like, I tried to speak to you in the car. So I had picked up this necklace, and as soon as so I guess that's when she tried to speak to me. Then I went home, and then that's when I had this dream that I'm telling you guys about. So she was like, I tried to speak to you, and I'm like, when? And that's what she told me, when. And I was like, oh, I didn't hear you. I was like, grandma, I didn't hear you. And she was like, she asked me how the family was doing. She asked how everyone was doing. And she was like, oh, yeah, I tried to speak to you. I was just eating some cake. And I was just like, that's my grandma, man. So she really came and spoke to me. And then the last thing she told me was to keep reading, because I stopped reading back in March. She's like, keep reading. And I'm thinking, like, how does she know? Right. Of course she knows. Like, I stopped reading. I was on the streak. I had read like 10 books. And then I completely stopped. And I just started back reading like 2 weeks ago. But so I stopped reading. She's like, keep reading. So I'm like, okay. So we leaving out this car place. I asked her, I was like, grandma, can they see you? She's like, no, they can't see me. So then I got some keys. I got some car keys, and we walked past the people, and then it was just pitch black. Everything just turned black, and I'm trying to press the like the clicker of the car, like to unlock the car, and then I woke up. But the reason why I'm explaining this is because my grandma helped me get my car that I just got like over a week ago, and I actually manifested it. Like, I haven't had a car for like 2 years. Like, you guys know, those of you who know, like, you know my struggle. So I struggled. I didn't have a car, and this is the crazy thing. I I got the car exactly 2 months after the last time I saw my grandma. So it happened on the same day, like the 28th to the 28th. But I wanted a car, but I never really tried to like do anything to like get the car. I just kept saying, I just want a car. I want a car. So I found the car that I wanted, and I kept telling myself like, okay, I want this car. And this is what I did. I wrote it down on my whiteboard in my room. I don't ever write like anything down or my goals. I keep them in my head, but like someone was just telling me write this goal down. Like I'm looking at it right now. It's still up there. So I wrote buy car, and then I imagined myself having this car, and like I saw myself like looking down at the steering wheel with my hands on the steering wheel, and me looking around inside the car, and the feelings that I would get while I'm in this car. And I was just like so excited, so happy. And I just kept saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. I got my car, I got my car. So I imagined it, I felt it, I visualized it, I wrote it down. And this is how I manifested my car. So, okay, so crazy thing is I wrote buy car down on a Sunday. And I didn't know how I was gonna get this car. Honestly, I'm about to really like break it down. I ain't have no money. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't have no money. I have no money. 2 days later, some money arrived in my account enough for me to get the car that I wanted. I woke up in the morning, I looked at my bank account. Someone just told me to look at my bank account. So I looked at my bank account and I was like, nah. I called the car place. I'm like, I want to get the car today. So I ain't even gonna lie, I thought my credit score wasn't good enough. I just found out like 2 days ago that my credit score jumped like 200 points. And this is how I got my car somehow. Like, credit, they was like, yeah, you're good. Like, you got good credit. I'm like, how? It was just, I'm being real with y'all. It wasn't the best credit score. So I get to the car place. They already had everything ready to go. They had it all laid out and they explained everything to me. All I had to do was go there, sign some paperwork, and literally get my car. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, grandma and JR really are looking out for me. Like, my grandma is really, really looking out for me. And then I drive off and I got my car, but like everything is really coming to me at once. The other day I was thinking about my grandma, and like I was like, dang, I hope she comes to talk to me again. And I thought about the last time I talked to her. She was in a car place. It probably was the same place that I got my car. I don't even know. Like, she was in a back room and I was talking to her. We were in a car place. And then I was like, dang, like my grandma really, I never knew. I always thought, why was she in that car place? But then I got my car, and I just had to tell y'all that I haven't told many people that story, but like my grandma was looking out for me, and my cousin, like I had to share that with y'all. But so yeah, comment, share it, like it. Thanks for watching.